How we doing, my friends? Florida History Hunter. End of the month. A few days away from October. We're out here hiking the old property where the barn and the old homestead and orange groves, and eventually it's going to happen real soon. Now they're getting ready to develop. They've already pulled down most of the structures. So we're back here again today. We've had about a week since we've been last out here, and with the passing of the hurricane, we didn't really get that much rain here in Central Florida. We sidestepped the worst of the Hurricane Helene. So I'm hoping that in a week some more artifacts have been stirred up just from exposure. So I'm always looking for these like little mounds of shell. Used to sniffles. I always have sinus problems. So this is where the house was located. And it's only a few weeks ago that it came down. And we're just hoping we're going to see some surface finds. I may do a little metal detecting. Kind of all depends on the weather, whether or not the weather is cooperative. The heat's the concern. I don't much mind the precipitation. Let's get down low and see what we got going on down here. Pieces of lumber. It's right in this spot a few weeks ago, right after they pulled about a week after they pulled the house down. I found that really interesting medicine bottle with most of its label intact, which is kind of bizarre when you think they pushed the house over with heavy equipment and had to scrape it all up. Yeah, kind of hoping that a coin or some kind of artifact would have been turned up. What's that right there? There's something right there. A little metal gadget. I'm not sure. Looks like it might have been some kind of gauge, maybe. We'll have to get it home and clean it up. There's something else right there. Now what do we got? Yeah, it's an old bent up soda pop cap. And the sun's getting hot. We're supposed to get like an Indian summer day today. into the mid 90s. And then add like 6 to 7 degrees on top of that for the heat index that they are calling for. And this is all part of the hurricane. Now that it's northeast of us, it's vacuuming all the warm air out of the tropics and dumping it right down on top of us. Alright, so I'm going to sidestep over here. And we're going to take a looky-see over here where see, I'm seeing a lot of glitter since the last time I was here, so maybe the rain has turned up some glass. Some glass artifacts. What's that right there? Look at that. Look at that right there. I just found a jar. A mystery jar. I gotta get my other glove on. A mystery jar. Look, it's around a bunch of brick rubble. Rubble. Look, there's the bottom of another jar right there. Look at that. But what is this? What is this? It's get the heck out of town. It's a jar of pumpkin seeds. What? Now who saves a small jar of pumpkin seed like that? It must have been a very good year for pumpkin. Bear with me a moment while I bury it in the bag. There's a nice piece of copper right there. A copper grounding rod. Ooh, it's getting hot. Buku hot. Put myself a line here so I could kind of mark out where I've been and where I'm going. There's a small piece of a dinner plate. It's got a little bit of a floral design on it. That's a nice little score. Yeah, nice big pile of nails right there. I'm going to mark that spot. Come along and start kneeling down in it. Catch myself a nail in the knee. Another marker. So right now the temperature's about 85, 88. And it feels like about 92. And there's a breeze blowing, but it's a warm breeze. Kind of like standing in front of a furnace in the middle of the summer. Look at that old latch. Ooh, big heavy duty. I'm going to assume that that was probably off of a some kind of tiller or edger. There's a window weight. Windows were really easy to open up when you got like 5 pounds on each side of it, like 10 pounds to help lift the window up. There was a rope attached to this, and let's imagine if this was our window right here, and this is inside the frame of the wall. And so as you windows down, this is up in the air. As you lift it up, these came down, one on each side, and it was a cotton, I think a cotton rope. I think they used to call it clothesline. Anyhow, they're interesting. They're cast iron. Look, another bottle right there. Look at that. Nice. I don't know if this is a medicine bottle or it's got black in it. It might be shoe polish. Yes, back in the day, people were really into going out and looking sharp. And they used to keep their shoes super clean and polished and shiny. And everybody wore shoes. This fad with sports shoes isn't as nice. You can hear the train approaching the station. I'll take a moment here to fetch me up a drink. kind of rod. Metal rod. Oh, what's that? What is that? Part of a piece of wood. It's got printing on it. Yeah, so we're gonna take this. We're gonna clean it up. Find out what the heck it is. What's this? Yeah, we're gonna find out what this is. Piece of porcelain right there. A lot of broken glass right here, and it's hard to say what it was. remnants of a 1-gallon bleach jug. History of England, part of a book. A Child's History of England. Under Richard I, etc. That'll help me identify what book that was. Couple pieces of Galvo. It's hard to know what it was for. There's a little some kind of specialty nail. Alright, now we're going to do this little zone right here. Roof. Not much left of it. It's suffering from thin tin. Very thin tin. Charcoal here. What's that? Oh, fragment of something. It's a PC part. There we go. There's something right there. What do we got? We got not sure. Sure, a fragment of bone. Have to get it home and wash it off. find out. Could be seashell. There's this, a spring. A lot more, whoa. A lot more charcoal over here. Like tons of it. Charcoal. No, it's not charcoal. It feels like, yeah, it's actually coal, not charcoal. It's actually coal. But what's this? '70s decanter. I don't know, maybe a tea tin or something. Definitely 70s. Some kind of paint. It's going to be a hazmat there. Turned upside down. Half the cans dripped out recently. Oh, this charcoal's deep too. Now this might have been where the fireplace was at, because I'm pretty sure there was a fireplace in this barn. Look at that. What's that? What's that? What's that? That looks like the lid to a gallon bleach jug. And I've got a good collection of bleach jugs. And a few of them are missing. The globe to some kind of light, some kind of shade. Some kind of galvanized clips. Looks like a Spam can. I rest my case. It's a 7-ounce Spam can. Knockout. In case you're just joining us, you're a Florida History Hunter, and we were looking for artifacts at the site of the old orange grove. This is the footprint where the barn used to be. Barn was put up probably the early 1900s, possibly the late 1800s, and over that direction was a cabin. Out there, like way out there, there's a metal roof building that was the fruit packing warehouse for said grove. Now this property is being developed, and it's a development that was already planned almost 20 years ago, but the housing market collapsed in the early 2000s, and this spot was spared from development. But they just recently started by removing the homes, and there's still 2 more houses on the property. Both of them have people living in them, and I spoke with one of the gentlemen this morning. I'd stopped to talk to him, and just to make him aware that I was going to be back here, not to be of concern. He said that was cool. You know, don't be afraid to talk to people, you know, when you're out and about, because you just never know. And there we go, look at that. We got our cleaning up a little bit here. Got my first Indian pottery fragment, and it's a big chunky piece. Nice. And that was my hope today. I'd be elated if that's all I found. You know, I did come out here, you know, hoping to find some more pottery, and let's see what happens. And this is from the St. John culture, Indians. The tribe would be the Tamokin, and then the chieftain would be Micaiah, I believe. I'll post it in the content of the video, the actual confirmation of where it came from. But those were the local Indians that lived in this part of Volusia County. That's concrete. You know how hard it is. Had a little bit of a clicking sound to it when I struck it against my stick. Pottery's gonna have a dead flat thunking sound. It looks like a small piece right there. Now that's brick. You can hear it. Not pottery. that is, though, there's a piece right there. Look at that baby. Now listen to the difference. Okay, now a piece of brick. Yep. Pottery. Yeah, it'd be nice to find an arrowhead or an old coin. I might have to come back out here with the metal detector, which is actually in the car at the moment. There's a small pottery fragment right there. And another one. And another one. And another one. 4 fragments and 5 fragments in a 3 foot by 3 foot square. We'll check this spot in a half an hour. See if anything's popped up in it. Sometimes it's all it takes is just to stir it up a little bit. It's a nice debris field right here. Shell field. And there's a piece of pottery. And there's another piece right there. Here we go. What's that? What's that right there? What is that? Looks like a reflector from a flashlight. It is. Reflector dome from a flashlight. You can see the light bulb would have stuck right through that hole right there. What's that? What is that? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Chalk crayon. L bracket. It'd be nice to have a small tractor with a big rake behind it where I could drive through here and turn all this over. There was a driveway right here. Came through that spot going that way. And back there was outdoor. All right, my friends, Florida History Hunter, we're back. Just came to the realization that for some reason the camera shut off. And so probably the last 35 minutes are lost. Whoops. I've got a rock in my glove down in the finger hole. Ah. So I was talking and I just in the last like 20 minutes or so found over a dozen pottery fragments. Oh, you realize that the camera wasn't running. Oh, so we lost all the history lesson. And the history lesson is that all the seashell that we're seeing, oh my bad, all the snail shell we're seeing here was all individually handled by an Indian over the last couple thousand years. And they eat a lot of escargot. And they would discard this in the piles, in their garbage piles in this part of Florida, are predominantly snail shell. And of course then you find the fragment of fragments of everyday life mixed in with that. That's why we're finding the pottery and a piece of a pipe or something. Plate glass. So mixed in with the snail shells, the pieces of daily life ended up in these garbage piles. And the garbage piles were dug up in the 1800s and 1900s and used as fill on people's property, and also for roadbed. You know, they come in, they would hand dig up all the shell mound garbage piles, and they would by the wagon load move them around the state, and they would end up underneath people's barns like we are here, and driveways. And that road out, the main road out in front of this property, the bed of that is also made from the same stuff. And we refer to that as a midden. And now middens are protected. It took a long time before somebody realized, you know, finally, it took them a while, that the historical significance of these mounds and the story of the native peoples that lived here for thousands of years is being uncovered as they go through. There's that nice piece of brick, a couple of them here. And that is just a fire brick. That's a fire brick too. I'm covering them up in case a friend of mine wants to come out here and retrieve them. There was a pole barn out here. That's where the house was. Get close to a battery count down here. First we're going to grab a little more hydration. Heading into our next midden pile. Which is right here. And there we go. There's our first piece. Ooh. Someday this will be in the middle of a street, somebody's front, back, side yard, or under a house, and these people won't have not a clue that this is under their feet. Looks like a small fragment right there. Oh. Oh. Yes, it is. There's a small fragment right there. A little bit of moaning and groaning. I've been having mobility problems. So I just yesterday got in to see the orthopedic doctor, and he thought it would be a good idea to pull out a syringe and stab me in the hip. Right there. There we go. Get cleaned off. Yep, there we go. Nice little pottery fragment right there. Oh, I'm happy. I came out today wanting to find some pottery fragments. There's another one right there. Just wanting to find some pottery fragments, and I have. As well as a couple bottles. Bonus. And I still may hike back to the car and grab the metal detector. Or may not. Got another pottery fragment right there, I think. Yes, indeed it is. People see trash. I see, look, there's a couple small pieces right there. Yeah, so people see trash, and I see cash. All these fragments is money. All right, we're back in this cluster of trees. We find an oil tank. Oh, an oil tank right there. Buried away. The breather, and somebody's just got a little aluminum cap over it. But this is like, there's a whole cluster of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oak trees. He's got it buried. It's like an old wood mill. Fruit crate, maybe. Was orange groves, so one would expect to find crates. There was another building back here at one time too. Yeah, I see me a bottle. And it is a wine bottle. Not that old. I gotta expect that somewhere on this property is a giant garbage pit. There's a nice stack of railroad tie. Look at that. That's a big one. Yeah, so as I was saying, that I was expecting there to be some kind of bottle pit on this property because, yeah, picking up garbage at people's houses is sort of a new thing, you know, the last 100 years. Before that, plastic liner? Yes, plastic bed liner. So before that, you know, people just found a spot on their property and that's where all the trash ended up. Not a very deeply rooted tree, is it? Only down not even a foot. I see lumber. So the question is, where would these people have dumped their trash? How far off the property were they willing to go? That's always the question. I'm trying to locate this stuff. Do they go back down the hill behind me? It's not likely they went that way because they were making money over there. That's where the orange groves were located. I mean, right here is pretty much like right behind the property, like right back here. See some fence posts. It may very well be right back in here. We'll have to give it a couple passes with the metal detector. Later, and it's not that far of a walk. You'll be out behind your barn, out behind your sheds, all your buildings. That's a good question. That was the house. Would you just dumped it right there, or would you going down the hill? And that was all orange groves on that side, all the way down this ridge. All of that land right there. Keeping an eye on my battery this time, folks. I don't want to be babbling on for half an hour. Find out I'm just talking to myself. So if you look out there, you can see there's a lines of pine trees, and all this was hand planted many years after the orange grove was closed down, and I'm sure a lot of the trees have just gone. Property owners came in here and planted harvestable lumber, pine trees. There could be something in this ridge right here. There could be something around this tree right here. If it wasn't so hot, it would be just an awesome day. I can hear the cicadas doing their thing. Now here's a bunch of fern. And this is like, of all this part of the property, I think this is the only spot where there actually is fern. So, maybe there was something back in here at one time. I love these giant pine cones. Look at that baby. Isn't that gorgeous? That's where pine trees come from. Very soft around here. I'm able to easily push my stick down about 5.5 inches. So areas like this should be hit with the metal detector. Because it's really weird, all of a sudden out of nowhere, there's a cluster of fern. Then it sort of ends. By the time you get over here, it's gone. Just in this one zone. Definitely worthy of metal detecting. That's a forgot the name of the tree now. Eucalyptus. You break it up, it smells like mentholatum. And I'm seeing lumber in here. Look at that. It looks like a window frame or something, or a bench. Definitely something in there. Oh, here we go. Here's something interesting. So, this pine cone has fallen from the tree, and it landed this way, choom, and sunk in that far, and that's how they get going. But when they're green like that, the squirrels like to eat them, and so they come along and they'll shred them up. And pine cone is edible. I can't say that all variety are edible or exactly how you go about eating them. Well, I know how you go about eating them. You open your mouth and start chewing. Alright, so here's some pine needles, and they're very long, as you can see. And they come from this little, there's a tree right in front of us right there, going up there. This is, even though they're needles, they call it a longleaf pine, which is kind of like ridiculous because pine trees don't have leaves, they have needles. So that's the... Alright, we're back. I was talking about pine trees and how small pine trees like this are. And these were all planted after the orange grove failed. This whole part of Florida up into Georgia, imagine Carolina, Alabama and all, they farm pine trees for the lumber industry. So we're exploring this property. I don't know how many acres and all it is, and it's all going to be completely flattened down. Over 95% of the trees are coming down. Like these laurel oaks or water oaks. They're just about at the end of their lifespan. They've got like a 70-year max. It's not unusual for a couple of them to breach that by 10 or 15, 20 years, but they're notoriously dropping. The big drop, falling down on people's cars and houses, and taking down electrical wires and such not. This is all going to be part of a 640 plus home housing project back here. That's going to butt right up against the land train station. Look, there's a trail right here. Actually a road. There is. It's actually a road right here. Oh, interesting. And more ferns right there. Halfway down the ridge, behind where the barn was, there's a cutoff path, like a big wide area to the left, and then a road that goes up the hill through the woods. There's a big area of ferns. Kind of suspicious, because there was never a fernery over here. There might have been a home. Oh, sorry, I sent it to the wrong person. Hope you're having a great day, girl. Down the big grass ridge, halfway down the hill, turn to the left. There's a road that cuts back up the hill again. There's a big area of ferns and some trails and stuff. It's kind of suspicious. This was all orange groves, so there might have been a home back here someplace. Alright, my friends, we're back. Florida History Hunter. We're still out exploring. This property's soon going to be overtaken by 640 some odd homes. So we're getting the last investigative walkabout. There's another golfer tortoise. Bro, it's been marked. And they mark them all the time. But they really don't do much for conservation. Because they're out here driving around with front end loaders and bulldozers and big dump trucks. You think they're steering about looking for a golfer tortoise that's out foraging? No. And I could, speaking from experience, I actually for the first time in my life, fighting the environmental costs since I was probably 9 years old. Now that I'm a senior, I finally single-handedly stopped a major construction project right here in DeLand. I was able to uncover some shady operation going on by a developer. As soon as they acquired the papers for a property, they went in there with heavy equipment. Never even pulled a permit. So there was no permit to do any work at all. No environmental study, no archaeological exploration, no wildlife count, flora and fauna. And the developer had numerous gopher tortoises entombed. So I reported that to FWC, Florida Wildlife Commission, and they immediately after the holiday weekend, it was a Thanksgiving 2 years ago, possibly 3, that the biologist, chief biologist, reached out to me, and after speaking with her on the phone, we had a couple conversations and did some video conferencing and some shared web viewing. We're going to do some remote viewing so that I could take a look at the overlays and all, so that we're positive on where this was going on. And a day or two later, she hit me up with a follow-up phone call, said the project has been stopped. Cease and desist order from the state of Florida for serious violations. Serious violations. So I'm out here hiking to see if there's any more evidence or remnants of people having lived along this stretch, or having left. Here's a native milkweed right here. I should have kind of like expect where there have been some kind of homes or something down this way, because it's really close to the station. Okay, so here we go. Here's a good representation for an older growth pine tree. Look at that. It's like 2.5 feet across. There's another one. There's another one. Look at that one. Look at that one. This one's how big is this one? It's like 24 inches. And that's small for back in the day. Now we come to the planted ones. And these have been here for at least 20 years. Pretty sure, plus 20 years. And these are about 11 inches. And I've seen some that are over 40. There's another tree right there, which I think is another eucalyptus. This looks like it would have been somebody's property. I can see this being in somebody's backyard. I'm sure this is a eucalyptus. Anyway, I can say for positive is to break off a twig. Okay, so look at this. I can get in close to it. Okay, here's going to be the way in. Look at the size of this pine tree. Now this sucker is almost 30 inches. That is a normal size. That was an average. 200 years ago, this whole area around here would have been plumb full of those suckers. And bigger. That size and bigger. Yeah. There's a flat spot right here, like a flat ridge. Something was digging here. There's deer print. But look at the scratching. Something was throwing dirt. Huh. Well, I got a reprieve from the sun. It's somewhat hidden behind the clouds. Because I spoke too soon. Yeah, see? I see a little bit of shell. This shell right here. Right here too. Would have had to have been something here, or there wouldn't be shell here. Seems like we're going down into a hole. Steady downhill slope. Oop, there goes a black racer. Way out there. You know what I call racers. You see how fast that sucker took off? Push! There's an old oak. Not that old. Under less than 100. I'm still going downhill, ever so slightly. Soft here. I can just easily plunge down a foot deep. I seem to have leveled out to a low spot right here. And it still goes down hill. Right there's another real low spot. And we're going to go around and find out what that is. After I check out this bald spot right here. It's a bald spot. There's some Spanish bayonet right there. And that would have been planted. Do a secondary video so I can forward this. Joe, this is looking north, and out there going that way goes to the barn. When you come down this ridge, before it narrows again, come this way, and there's a big circle with Spanish bayonet, and back there on that side, let me go around here. It looks like there might have been a pond back here too. So right now I'm facing Old New York, right across the street from the boat yard before the railroad tracks at the train station. And over in here, back in there looks like a low spot. In case you're just joining us, the Florida History Hunter on the site of the old orange groves out here in West DeLand at Grand Avenue in Old New York, end of Euclid, and all this wooded area is coming down. Flatten all this stuff out, and they're going to put in over 650 homes. There's another road. So all this will be gone. Be streets, sidewalks, houses, grass, and a bunch of stupid palm trees. Definitely nothing of significance. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the property right here. the bottom of the hole. And we're at the looks like the back end of the retention pond for DeLand Station. I think this is a flood marker. And we were literally at the bottom of the hill. And it's kind of interesting fact is it's got to be a quarter mile to the main road where we're getting our midden fill, and it's only not even a quarter mile that way, maybe an eighth of a mile that way, where Shell Lake is, where they pulled out tens of thousands of tons of shell. That's how close we are to a midden. It just came to my mind. I remember seeing that on an old map. Now that lake sits, I believe, on a industrial site where they manufacture pre-stressed concrete. This looks interesting right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know where we're at. We're by the garbage pile. A garbage pile where there was a building. There's some more midden. There's that old bicycle I saw on a couple other videos back. But I'm thinking this is gotta be a big debris field right here. Because we got some old school red brick in here, right there, and there, and then wow, the sun is kicking booty right now. This is all stuff that they've been messing around with. It's a low spot. So they were in here digging to help drain off the railroad property. I think that's what this is about. So we're gonna look. There's evidence of a campfire having been right there. A lot of deer print. There's some metal right there. Like old cast iron. It feels like from an old trailer. Yeah, it is. It's like a truss. I mean a joist. Like a trailer joist, an old metal trailer joist. Well, yeah, metal, and it would have had wood plank on it. Definitely getting hot. I gotta expect it into the 9-0 by now. Let's see. Here it comes. $88. Feels like 90. But that could just be in that specific spot that they took that reading. You know, when they say DeLand, there could be a 6 or 8 degree difference. And I'm telling you here, it's in the 90s with a plus index. There's some more deer track. There are a lot of exploratory roads punched in around here. See a lot of evidence of deer running through there. And they're soon going to be run out of here. Is this it? This is far, and if they punched, it is. It would be nice if they left up a lot of these trees and made them build around them. It's so much prettier, and it would make a statement when people came off the train, which is right through there. They'd be like, wow, look at the land, it's really got it together. Look at all the trees. Yeah, then the illusion disappears. And just a few months ago, walking here would have been impossible. It would have been thick like that. Just a sheer impossibility. But all these palm trees, getting on time to head back for the car. Ignored my water protocol, which is just as you get down to a bottle of liquids, you should be already heading back in case something happens to you on the way back. And I've allowed myself to get down to about the 1/8 mark, and it's all uphill back to the car. Mostly in the sun. That low spot. I'm seeing like shell glittering right there. Looks like little flakes of gold. Hot, 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 hot. Hotty, hot, 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 hot. Way hot. Oh. This is part of the old swing set. I see the, How we doing, my friends? Florida History Hunter, and we're getting ready to call it a day. It's gotten way too hot. Look, there's a golf ball. Top Flight Plush, #1. Maybe in 500 years somebody else will find that. So we're going to call it quits. It's gotten way too hot. And my beverage jug is about empty. I let it get down too far. I should have been heading back to the car 45 minutes ago or more. I like to judge my hike on the amount of water I have with me. I try to make a rule of thumb that I already have been heading back before the halfway mark. So like 40 to 45% is usually my target before I turn around. Looks like a good spot to metal detect later today when it cools off. But I like to be heading back before the halfway point of my water, just in case something happens on the way back that I've got enough liquids with me to stay hydrated. Well, there you have it, my friends. Your Florida History Hunter. Thanks for joining me this late October. My bad. Late September day. October is just a few days off. You have a great day. Hit that button down below to like if you like the content of our videos. Subscribe to our channel. We're on the path of being able to have this channel support us. Right now it's not carrying its own weight, so please help drive up our subscription numbers. It would be greatly appreciated. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.